Okay, Jennifer, can you say Namo fundamental teacher second Buddha?
3 times.
Yeah, 3 times. You always know that.
Okay. Namo fundamental teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo fundamental teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo fundamental teacher Shakyamuni Buddha.
Find the sum.
Okay, that's it. Good. Good. Right. Tell them when they in the Zoom, what should they do? Jennifer.
Don't turn off the camera and listen. No talking while Ty is talking.
Okay. Alan, Ethan, Catherine, turn on your webcam con. Yeah. Lower your cam so I can see you con. Thank you. Okay. All right. Alan, turn on your webcam. Alan. Victory. Tell them what they need to do when we do the meditation.
Keep your neck straight, your back straight. Breathe. Sit straight. Breathe out your nose. Count 1. Inhale and exhale to the nose. Count 2. Inhale and exhale. Count 3. If you mess up, start again.
Good job. Okay, and you know what? When you inhale, right? You count 1, but when you do count 1, you stretch your number 1 a little bit longer until you complete your inhale. When you exhale, you also count 1 and you stretch your number 1 until you finish the exhale. But don't try not to control your inhale and exhale. Let it do naturally, and you do the same thing with number 2 and number 3. Oh, go all the way up to 10. When you go up to 10, go back to 1. Yeah, does it make sense? If you go 2 rounds of 10, that means 20. 3 rounds of 10 is 30, right? Let's do that. Hai đứa làm luôn meditation con. Okay, let's sit meditation. Right, baby. All right. 1, 2, 3. Put your make yourself relax. Go. Yeah, put everything down. Thank you. 1, 2, 3. Let's do the counting. Sit still. Good. How many con?
15.
How many?
38.
38. Okay. Jackson, how many?
38.
Wow, you 38 too. All right, Daniel.
27.
Okay, Jennifer.
I forgot.
You forgot you that old. Man, how could you forget? Okay, Catherine.
27.
Ethan, and your sister. I forgot your sister name.
It's Allison.
Alison. Okay, go ahead. How many con?
24.
Okay. Listen, remember to join my Saturday class 12:30 to 1:30 in Houston time. Nghe con? Good. All right, Racy.
20.
All right. Sydney.
25.
Good. All right. All right, great, Rory. Okay.
15.
Okay, good. Let's do the video together. Yeah. Okay. Just give me 1 second. No. Not yet. Choose for something that we are not what. Good. Let's do this.
Convince her to return to their home.
All right. Okay, everyone pay attention. And summarize the story. Yeah, read to read. Turn on your webcam, go. Listen, can you help me to summarize the story? Yeah?
What?
Yeah. Huh?
Huh?
Yeah. Can you help me to summarize the story after the...
I'll try.
Okay, good. I will help you. Okay. Oh, no.
Parachda was the beautiful daughter of a rich merchant in Sawati. She lived in comfort and was well cared for. She had servants to tend to her every need. She was very attractive and garnered attention from many young men. When she was 16, her parents locked her in a high tower to keep her away from all the young men who were pursuing her. In spite of this precaution, Parachda fell in love with one of her parents' servants and decided to start an affair with him. When she found out that her parents arranged a marriage for her, Parachda ran away from home to a distant village with her lover to elope. There, her husband earned a living farming a small plot of land. Parachda was stuck with all the housework and chores that her parents' servants used to do for her. This was the karmic result of her choices. At the time, it was the tradition for a woman to give birth in her parents' house. When Parachda became pregnant, she begged her husband to take her back. She wanted to follow tradition and believed that her parents might forgive her for her actions when she returned. However, her husband refused. He was afraid that her parents would have him arrested or even killed. When she realized that her husband would not take her to her parents' house, Parachda decided to go by herself. When her husband learned of this, he set off after her. He tried to convince her to return to their home, but she wouldn't listen. Out of options, Parachda's husband decided to accompany her. But before they could reach Sawati, Parachda went into labor. She gave birth to a healthy baby boy, With no more reason to go to Sawati, he decided to turn back. Not too long after this incident, Parajara became pregnant for a second time. Again, she begged her husband to take her to her parents' home, and again, he refused. Parajara took matters into her own hands and set off to her parents' home with her son. When her husband learned of this, he ran after them. When he caught up, he begged Parajara to return with him. However, she refused. Once again, he decided to accompany her on her trip. After they had traveled some distance, a fierce storm arose, complete with rain, lightning, and thunder. Travel became hard for the family. Just then, Parajara went into labor. She asked her husband to go collect some wood to make shelter. Parajara's husband was busy chopping down saplings, when suddenly a venomous snake snuck up close and bit him. He died instantly. Parajara waited and waited for him, but he never returned. Eventually, she gave birth to a second son. Throughout the night, the two young boys screamed and wailed. The thunderstorm terrified them. The only shelter Parajara could offer them was her body, lean and haggard from giving birth and from traveling. In the morning, she concluded that her husband must have deserted them, so she decided to go on without him. As she turned around a bend, she saw her husband's body lying dead on the floor. She lost the ability to stand and fell to her knees, grasping her husband's stiff body and entreating it to get up. She blamed herself for his death and for accusing him of abandonment. Eventually, she realized that she couldn't stay, so she decided to continue. After some time, Parajara and her sons arrived at the river and found that it had swollen. It was chest height with a violent current. Parajara, exhausted from giving birth and from traveling, could not wade across while carrying both children. She left her older son on there and carried her baby above her head as she traversed the river. After dropping her infant off, she made her way to her firstborn child. Meanwhile, a large bird saw the newborn baby all alone. Taking the baby for a piece of meat, it swooped down, snatched the child, and flew off. In the middle of the river, Parajara could only look on helplessly as she realized what was happening. Parajara screamed and waved her arms to get the bird's attention. She shouted, "My baby! My baby! Bring back my baby!" The older boy, waiting on the other bank, saw his mom waving and yelling and thought she was calling out to him. So he started after her. As soon as he took one step into the river, a vicious current swept him away. Parajara, hearing his screams, turned around, but by then, he was already beyond help. Parajara went on her way, but all she could see was darkness. She could not process all the tragedy that had befallen her. She could not process how it was possible that she lost her husband and her two sons all in a single day. Her brain shut down. All she could feel was the huge chasm left in her heart. She felt like she had fallen into a black hole. Nothing mattered to her any longer. However, this was not the end of her misfortune. Lost, her body set to autopilot, she drifted in the direction of her parents' home. When she got to the edge of the city, she stopped a traveler who was leaving the city and asked for news about her family. The traveler responded, "Young miss, please don't ask me about that family." Parachara insisted, and the traveler said, "Last night, during the storm, their house collapsed. The elderly couple and their son were killed. All three were recently cremated together. The smoke you see over there is from their funeral pyre." Her mind replayed all that had happened. Her husband died because of her. Her newborn died because of her. Her firstborn died because of her. Her parents and brother died after she abandoned them. All these thoughts plagued her already fragile mind. She had no power to stop them. Parachara saw the smoke, and realizing that she had no one to depend on and nowhere to go, she lost her last shred of sanity. She ripped off her clothes and pulled out her hair. She wandered the city, weeping, wailing, and talking to herself. "My husband is dead. My sons are dead. My mother, father, and brother are burning on a funeral pyre. All is lost. All is gone. And it's all my fault. I'm all alone. I have nothing left." Everyone who saw her thought she was crazy, and some even threw trash at her. When she reached the temple, the monks blocked her from entering. The Buddha saw that Parachara was spiritually ripe for attainment. He said, "Do not block her, let her come to me." When Parachara was closer to the Buddha, he said, "Sister, regain your mind." Instantly, she regained her mindfulness. A kind man lent her his outer robe and she draped it over herself. After she bowed to the Buddha, she told him her tragic story. The Buddha said to her, "Parachara, do not be troubled anymore. You have come to one who can be your refuge and shelter. It is not only in this life that you have experienced calamity and disaster. In every life, throughout the rounds of rebirth, you have wept over the loss of sons and daughters, fathers and mothers, sisters and brothers, and all others dear to you. You have already shed more tears than the waters of all the oceans combined." Internalizing the Buddha's words, Parachara realized the perils of rebirth, and her grief subsided. She realized that there was nothing in the world that she could rely on. Everything she felt attached to would eventually lead to her suffering and pain. No bliss, love, or happiness was worth the extreme pain that she felt over and over each and every life. In the grand scheme of things, happiness was not a worthy goal to strive for after suffering was taken into account. Parachara released all attachments to her body and physical objects and became a Sotapanna, a stream enterer. She asked for ordination into the Bhikkhuni order, the order of nun, and immediately ordained. Fueled by the suffering she experienced and the desire to end it, she practiced and contemplated every waking moment. One day, after her walking contemplation, she sat down to rinse her feet before entering her kuti, or hut. Her mind was already focused, so she used the water as a topic of contemplation. She rinsed her feet for the first time. The water flowed a little and then sank into the ground. She rinsed her feet for the second time. The water flowed a little further and then sank into the ground. She washed her feet a third time. The water flowed even further, then sank into the ground. She recognized that this was a perfect metaphor for the impermanence of things. Some things live for a short while, like her sons, and then die. Some things live for a longer time, like her husband and brother, and then die. Other things live for a long while, like her parents, and then die. But just like all streams of water eventually end, all beings' lives also end. Due to all her past contemplations, her soul accepted this truth, and she became an arahant, a fully liberated one. What do you think the moral of this story is?
Okay, all right, I'll listen. Go ahead. Yeah.
I didn't understand like most of the story because I didn't understand what they were saying. But I got that he made bad decisions, and because of that, a lot of her family died. And he went to the Buddha, and the Buddha told her that it was because of karma or something, and that she realized it was because of attachments that she was suffering. And the moral of the story was that everything will die or end eventually, I think.
Yeah. In this story, actually, they did not tell you the past life, what she did in the past. But I will tell you what she did in the past. You will understand why it happened today. Nothing in Buddhism, whatever happened to us right now, it not happened by itself. Always have a reason for it. Does it make sense? So, in the past life, she was the wife, the first wife of the rich man, right? And but she could not be able to have a child. She cannot be able to give birth, right? Therefore, the husband cannot wait for that, so he asked her for permission to get a second wife. Yeah, and she have no choice but to give the husband to have a chance to get the second wife. Well, the second wife get into the house, and she be able to have the pregnant, right? And when the second wife pregnant, you know what? Because the first wife is, she said that she have the thought of envy. That means jealous. And this is what she thinking. The first wife, she thinking that if the second wife have a child, you know what happened? The son will take all my property. Whatever I build up, he the one will be the one who own everything. That's what I don't want. So what she did is what she did is she used the needle, right? Oh no, the wife give birth to the baby, and you know what? The baby when he was, I think it's alone, right? And she used the needle hook into the head of the baby and go all the way inside the head. No one can see it. And the baby died. And then when the baby died, the second wife already know come from this, the first wife. And you know what? She rushed over to the first wife. She said that you are the one killed my son. And you know what? The first wife said, how dare you say that to me? I did not kill it. And I will did what she vowed. She made the vow that in front of the second wife. If I am the one who killed your son, then in the future life, that means that my parent will be die, my son will be die, and my husband will be die. So then you know what? Because when she said that, that means she lied, right? She lied. And due to the karma of the mouth. And that means after she died, she go into the hell and stay there for a while, a long time. And after that, every time when she come back as a human, she have to endure the same thing that you just see. That means the husband die, the two sons die, the parent and sibling die, and she have to endure those suffering for countless life due to her lying and jealous. You see, the power of the mouth is we have to be very careful. Do you think that we want to be in that situation in the future? No, we should not. Well, no one want that. But we have to be careful. Whatever we think, whatever we say, whatever we do, right? So in this story, what did you learn in this story, Andy? After you hear my past the past life of the lady.
Not kill a
Mm.
person
And what else?
and
Do not what?
do not be jealous of people.
Right, and do not.
Lie.
Yeah, do not lie. That's important. When you lie, you will be in trouble. What happened if you lie? Let's say that if we have a habit of lying, right? Ethan Lam.
Yeah, Ty.
If we have a habit of lying to the other people, what happened to us in the future?
That same situation as that woman would happen to us.
What happened if when we go to the company and we lie to the company? What happened to us?
Then we're
When they find out you are lying to them, you know what happened?
what?
They kick you out, right? And what happened when you lie to the police or to the government?
Then you go to jail.
That's correct. You go to jail. What happened if you lie to the school?
Then they could suspend you or fail you.
No, they will kick you out of the school. That make sense?
Yeah.
So be careful. Don't do that. Okay, all right. Thank you. Let's say Hubert. Tell them what they need to do when we go into the breakout room. Go. Thank you.
The webcam came on. Don't talk when the teacher's talking.
Mhm.
And respect the tutor
Respect the tutor. That's right.
and friends and message that job now.
All right, everyone. Alan, Jefferson, Vincent, turn on your webcam. Go. Everyone. Alan. Okay, go on.